before we get to the episode, did I say 4? Before we get to the episode, big shout out to my guys at Ned. Go to helloned.com, use the code SYNC, SYNC at checkout, get 15% off whatever you order. I highly recommend the full spectrum CBD hemp oil. It's fantastic. The lip balm, also one of my favorite. You don't have to keep using it like other chapsticks. It's fucking great. They got magnesium. They got all the stuff you would want. Go check it out. Again, that's helloned.com. Use the code SYNC, SYNC at checkout. It's pretty great. I think you're going to enjoy it. All right, on to the episode. Welcome to Synchronicity. It's been a little bit, I feel like. How are we feeling about these 2 a month, Yeah, a little more. I don't know. We'll do it. I love you guys. I'm happy to be here chatting with you. What's been going on in your lives? We're going to have, I don't want to say a heavy episode this week, but I think it's a needed one. It's when it all falls down, right? It's just what happens when everything kind of breaks apart. You're working towards everything. You've hit a moment of flow. Your dreams are coming true. Everything is working out the way you wanted it to. And then you just get served a big old shit sandwich. And sometimes it feels like you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything wrong. How is this happening? Why is it happening to you? Now, if you get stuck in that mindset, it can be really challenging to pull yourself out of it. If something is being done to you, you don't deserve this. This shouldn't have happened to you. Why is this happening? Those are self-perpetuating cycles of kind of shame and guilt and just intolerance, right? It's being intolerant to something that's percolating up in your life that you're supposed to be facing. So the first thing you can do if you notice yourself in that state is just go, hey, this is happening to me for a reason. This is happening to me because I need to be shown something about myself, about my life that's bringing in this energy. It's never independent of you, right? I was talking with my dad the other day and he's like, you've always kind of subscribed to this theory of living the illusion of central position, which is basically him telling me that I'm a self-centered jerk. I know he doesn't mean it like that, but there is some truth to being the center of the universe. You are the center of your universe. It's quite literally how you experience everything. To deny that, to push that aside and pretend like it's not accurate is doing yourself a disservice. Now, does that mean you should only do things for yourself? You should only be a selfish, self-serving person who doesn't care about anyone else? Of course not. But it does mean some acknowledgement that your life is your life and that everything is a reflection of something that's going on with you. This actually helps you get to a place of stability and strength for working through or letting things pass by or allowance or accepting just the shit that's happening in your life. We all put different challenges and circumstances in our lives to show us this. I know for a lot of people, and this is why we've been doing a lot of money stuff, especially over the past year, money, finances, security it's a very dominant way of kind of focusing our energy on something that feels substantial or logical or practical. I can tell you as someone who, especially in the past few weeks, has made more money than I've ever made in my entire life. When that obstacle begins to crumble, when there's no longer this issue with money, right? Not having enough, needing to make more, making sure you have enough for yourself and your family or whoever you're providing for, if that's something you're doing, that's when other shit tends to pop up, right? Because you've eliminated something that tends to dominate a huge portion of our consciousness typically. And when that gets taken away or begins to crumble and it isn't as dominant of a theme, that's when the other things start to come up. So I'll talk about my own personal kind of things falling apart and issues that I deal with in the hopes that maybe you can recognize some things in your life that maybe have a similar energetic imprint. So for me, what happens is I am constantly dealing with this balance between space, personal space, doing the things I want to do, and having responsibilities. I have three children. I have a wife. I have an ex-wife. There's a lot going on always in my life, and it's important for me to make sure that I am taking care of myself, because if I don't, I tend to be a pretty shitty person to be around. And for as fun and happy and as cool as I sound on this podcast, when I'm in a bad mood, I'm a nightmare. I am truly probably one of the least pleasant people to be around on the planet. It's just how it is. I know this. It's something that all of my partners and family have been all too familiar with over the course of my life. And it's not a good thing, right? It's not, no one wants to be around a miserable son of a bitch. That's not a positive experience. So for me, trying to navigate how to honor my own wants, desires, needs, space, while maintaining kind of, being the person I need to be for the people in my life. I've set my life up in a way where that's become kind of the focal point. And I think this is something that everyone deals with, whether you have children or not, or families or whatever. It's just something that people have to figure out. Where is that line, that dividing line between yourself and others? Um, Other people are reflections of you. So if you're getting feedback, even if seemingly unwarranted or not fair, also be very careful. I notice whenever I'm doing this, when I'm upset, if I start saying things aren't fair, ugh, even when I'm saying it, I know it's wrong. It's just not. Fairness isn't. It is fair. It is fair, right? It is how things work. You're always going to get an accurate reflection of the energy that's inside of you. Now, that may not be convenient. That may not be nice. That may force you to deal with some uncomfortable truths about who you are and what you're dealing with. But let's try to eliminate this concept of fairness in our lives, right? Everything is fair. Everything is the way it should be. It can seem completely unfair, objective. If someone walks down the street and hits you in the face, you can say, I didn't deserve that. It's not that you deserve it. It's just that there is a relationship between what you are experiencing and some type of, internal energy, right? That's just how this shit works. So what do we do? Right? What do we do? And I'm half on this podcast just figuring it out with you. I I'm trying, not trying, in the process of figuring out how to be the best version of myself. And I think this is all we can do in our lives, right? I think when we die, we get this opportunity to review our lives and see what we were here and what we were doing. And if you have this ability to kind of step outside of the box, zoom out while you're alive and recognize what some of those themes may be, that's the point of this shit, right? That is the point of this shit. It's really to grok the lessons that you signed up to learn before you incarnated as a being. The only thing I can say is make sure that you keep things light and that there's an element of fun, or there's just curiosity always kind of as a tailwind for you, pushing you along. That will immunize you against immunizations. That will immunize you against most negative consequences in life. There's a huge amount of responsibility that comes with that, but really just like acknowledging that you have shit you need to work on. You're doing it because it's not a burden. It's not a bad thing. It's something that's intended to be uh, a growth, right? It's like growing pains. But if you can have this playful, it's Page of Cups, right? One of my favorite cards in the tarot is Page of Cups, just because it represents this aspect of playful curiosity. And that is the mood and attitude that we should be carrying with us as much as possible. Now, I understand when you're going through some heavy shit, It's not always easy. It's not always like the easiest thing to do to be a playful, curious, happy-go-lucky, fun person. But if you can shift your mentality, come up with some type of anchor or beacon that allows you to get into that mindset, do that. Right? That could be something as simple as listening to music, going for a walk, exercising, eating food you like, just something that shifts your mentality towards the direction you'd like to go in. Do that. Get accustomed to doing that. The worst thing I feel like we can do is dwell in a negative state. You can get familiar with negativity. There's nothing wrong with that. It's good to have an idea of what ends of the spectrums exist, but dwelling in a state of negativity uh, perpetuates it, right? And that's not something we're trying to do here. Also, just trying to remember to have conviction and confidence in your big imaginal acts or whatever we'd like to call them, that is also helpful. Things may seem like they're going totally wrong, but if you know deep down that things are actually working out and they're constantly in the process of being worked out, um, that's good. The way I describe this is like, let's say there's a big knot in some shoelaces you're untying, right? That knot is not an obstacle for you to like, oh, it fucked your shit up. It's just something that needs to be loosened and untied. And that's kind of what playfulness and curiosity and laughter allows us to do. It's a way of kind of untangling the knots, which has a functional purpose. So we all have these knots in our lives. They tend to uh, repeat themselves until we get the proper perspective on how to deal with them. Um, and that can be anywhere from like a comfortable, fun experience to a hellish nightmare where you feel like you're in some Sisyphusian, Nietzschean kind of fucking recurrent loop of torture. Hopefully, not that. Hopefully, that's not your dominant vibe, but it certainly can happen. Um, Try to be appreciative of when these things happen in your life. I don't like being in fights. I don't like being in confrontations and have a mirror being held up to my faults. No one enjoys that, I don't think. Even the most, sadomasochistic person. I don't think anyone really enjoys having that happen, but take them as lessons. Take them as opportunities to kind of figure out what the fuck is really going on in your life. Also, this is directly tied to, and this has to do with what I was talking about before, like this responsibility versus, taking care of yourself and your needs. Have your dreams and goals in life. Don't lose sight of those, right? Don't lose sight of those. I think the worst thing anyone can do is put off their dreams or their real big goals in life because they don't seem realistic or practical or just right. You can do whatever you want. This is a real truth and reality. And part of a big reason I have this podcast and continue to do it is it's a message that's constantly worthy of being shared. Um, I know that when I am the most miserable in my life is when I push away the things that truly make me happy, or I lose sight of my big dreams and goals. And that does happen. I would say, truthfully, the past 6 to 8 months, I've been in kind of a funk, right? It's been tough. Lots of things have ramped up in my life that I don't want to say have prevented me, but it's made it more difficult for me to pursue the things I truly enjoy to do. And then it kind of gets in this weird thing where like, oh, I should be making music. Why am I not making music? And then you maybe get some time to do the thing you want to do, and it's not flowing, and you're like, oh God, I can't. That's normal. That's a part of it. It also makes the success, the inevitable success, I'll point out, that much sweeter when it happens. It feels a lot better to get the thing you've always wanted when you've had a little difficulty. What's the word I'm looking for? Uh, I can't think of it right now. When it's adversarial, I don't know the right word I'm looking for. When there's challenges to get there, it's far more rewarding. You may think it would be nice to just get a straight shot right to your goals as soon as you want them. This isn't the place for that. We're here on Earth because we have this dimension of time to gain perspective on what it is we're doing. And thank God, I've mentioned this before with the imaginal acts. Like if, a lot of us, oh, I wish I had this right now. Boom, it's right in front of your face like a genie. That's all well and good when it's things you want. But if that was really how things worked instantly, guess what, buddy? You don't imagine getting hit in the balls. Don't imagine losing all your money. Don't imagine dying a tragedy. You know what I mean? Like we have this um, beautiful, stretched out time to kind of really be sure about what it is we want. And the beautiful thing is to change our minds. There's always the ability to change your mind. You're never locked in to any one mindset or perspective in life. It's just not how it works. That's beautiful. That's amazing. You're an all-powerful, limitless being who literally can do whatever they want whenever they want. It may not feel like that all of the time. It may not feel like that the majority of the time. Hell, it may not even feel like that 2% of the time, but it is true. It is a fact. And I think as more people wake up to this, things tend to get a little bit more smooth. I also want to just talk a little bit here about being careful about what you're letting into your consciousness. I'm sure everyone knows how fractured and divisive, just not just politics, but just all social and cultural issues are right now. Try to unplug from that reactive nature. Try to just dissociate. I think this is one of the best things about ketamine. I haven't done it in a while, but like you can kind of unplug from your normal perspectives, and people are really getting locked into, hardcore zealot like stances, whether that's having to do with like vaccines or politics or whatever it is. Just be mindful that like it's not worth it. It's just not worth it, right? Find the things you genuinely care about internally, not because of some external prompt, but find those things and then put your attention towards that, right? Focus on those things. It's not worth getting angry at another person based on their actions. Even if you feel like they're doing something destructive, it's self-harming, it's harming others, always start with yourself, right? Start with your own issues, your own problems, your own things that you need to work on. It's just a better path towards fulfillment and success. It makes more sense. That's probably the easiest way to say it. I know this can be difficult. I know that people have strong feelings, especially when it comes to like mortality. But I mean, I was talking, to some friends. I'm not going to call them out, and I'm not going to go into a whole, vaccine, not vaccine thing, because I know it's a hot button topic. But just seeing how people have like gone to the point where they're like cutting friends out of their lives because of their stances on vaccines, whatever it is, that's not right, guys. It's not worth it. It's really not worth it, right? It's just, don't let yourself be pulled by something that truly doesn't affect you. Really, it doesn't. You may have strong viewpoints on this type of stuff, but don't let it alter your relationships and your life. It's a dangerous road, and that goes for the unvaccinated, the vaccinated. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. It's gotten to the point where I really don't even publicly share my opinions on vaccines at this point. And I'm not an anti-vaxxer at all. I'm not someone who's like heavily in favor of all vaccines, but it's just something like, it's a shame. Like, I'm not the type of person who typically gates what I speak about. But I feel that just the amount of kind of rage and anger that can come out when talking about these things, it's like, this isn't going to be the only thing. There's going to be so many more things in the world where we don't agree. And I think letting go of this idea that someone you're friends with or you admire or you like, they don't have to agree with you on everything. I know that's a hard kind of tough pill to swallow for some people, but it's true. You don't have to agree with everyone about everything. It's just not even possible. So don't let it like seep into your life in a way that fosters negativity and just, bad shit, right? And let's talk a little bit about like practicality versus woo. There's a balance you're looking for there. It's not all one thing. It's not all woo all the time. It's not all 3D practical shit all the time. Find that balance. That balance is going to be what creates a sense of fulfillment in your life. Being able to walk that line as a mystical, amazing alien, but also as a person, where that stuff's like not applicable all of the time in your life. Don't don't go too far off the woo deep end. I'm pretty fucking woo. Don't you guys know that? Everyone knows that. But there has to be some balance with practicality. We wouldn't be here on Earth with these types of responsibilities and rules and laws and all of these things. We wouldn't be here if that's not something we truly deep down desired, right? So honor that. Honor that. Really don't push yourself too hard. I'm also like a natural born contrarian. So like I'm an insufferable asshole. Like I'll get super fucking woo and then be like, don't be woo. I'm sorry. It's just how I am. It's just I think it's a way of crafting my own perspectives and beliefs. But just try to like find the balance there. It's going to make you feel more stable and healthy. One of the things that can happen with like going very woo is you can just kind of like lose yourself, lose your perspective, get too untethered from the life around you that it ceases to become productive. Like even if I got unplugged there. Hopefully this was recording. Um, that's a big deal though, right? Like just make sure that you're cool, man. Just be cool, baby. That's it. That's it. That's the message of this one. Um, Go back and listen to the Imaginal Techniques episodes if you feel like you've lost touch with that a little bit. I know we've been in this really intense period of kind of just getting shit done and preparing and, just get ready for some relaxation. We've had enough turbulence. Turbulence will continue. It's not going to go away, but just try to be cool, right? I think that's what it's about. If that means smoking some weed, doing some drugs, whatever it is, just kick back and relax. It's the only thing you'll appreciate it at the end of your life. You'll look back and you really will appreciate the moments where you were able to just fucking take it easy. It's a big part of being alive, that relaxation, right? Just don't lose sight of that. Um, we all go through things at various times in our lives. Just if you maintain the perspective that it's all good, it's going to work out. It is working out. Um, Things are going to be good. All right. We'll wrap it up here. We'll probably maybe do another little bonus one. I have some cool guests coming up. Tao Lin. Do you know him? He's a writer. He wrote a new book called Leaf Society. He was kind enough to send me a pre-release of it. It's fantastic. I'm going to have him on the podcast. I'm going to get him on hopefully soon. He's a very cool guy. The book is phenomenal. It's a novel, but kind of like an autobiographical. It's beautiful. It's really well written. It's a lot of, microdosing, and it's just really good. So I'm going to try to get him on in the not too distant future. Just some cool shit going down in Funky Town. Crypto, guys. I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. This Get in the fucking server. That's all I can say. Everyone who's in the server knows what's been going on. We've been getting AVAX coins, Avalanche. I've never seen anything like this. There are 2 times in my life I've been this excited about crypto. One was when I first discovered Bitcoin in 2013. The other was in 2017 when things started going parabolically up. This is maybe trumps both of those. It's absolutely astounding what's going on. Get in there. You won't regret it. I think it's about a little less than $8 to join the Patreon. You can leave afterwards. It's an $8 investment. It's less, and you can leave whenever you want. I highly recommend doing it. I don't need the money. It's just it's a gate to kind of, really get you to commit to something. Just even a small amount of money changes something psychologically in our minds. The Patreon is it's okay. I'm getting these streams out when I can. I'm getting a new streaming computer where we can really, ramp up what's going on. I'm gonna be streaming some games from the PS5. It's gonna be fun. We do the tarot stuff there. I'll be opening some readings up. Stay tuned on Instagram. I'll be doing the Instagram readings, the short ones there. I really missed those. I think that was really beneficial for me and other people to do it like that. There's just good shit coming. But yeah, really just get involved with the crypto stuff. You'll thank me later. It's a very rare opportunity right now, and you can learn. It's great. That's it. That's it, guys. I love you so much. I'm so happy and honored that you still tune into the show, even though I don't do it as much. You guys are the coolest. You really are. I would say that my audience and the people who listen to the show are probably some of the best people on the planet. And I'm very proud to have kind of tapped into whatever vein I'm tapped into where you guys listen. You're really an amazing group of people. And I love you. All right. That's it. Until next time, love you.